Hello, this is April 4th, 2021, and this is As the World Burns with Randall Burns. I'm your host. Today we're talking about the current automotive autonomy news and markets. Several stories have come out recently about Waymo, which is having a bit of problems with its autonomy introduction in Phoenix, Arizona. I've included the links. I'll include the links in the description. But bottom line, they're having real problems with rain and edge cases. They do not have a generalized solution. They're using LiDAR technology to do a very detailed map of each city, so that would presumably have to be redone anytime they try to extend this service to another city. And in their words, it's a much, much harder problem than they realized. The CEO is leaving. Tesla is affected indirectly from this by guilt by association. That may not be fair, but this is a real opportunity for the legacy auto and big oil noise machine to extend fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which is something they're really good at. But the other part of this is that part of the lesson is that in general with these neural nets, getting 99% automation is much easier than 100% automation. And when you have engineers that may not have worked on a substantial project like this before, that can be a hard lesson to learn. Now, one thing that is a bit of a surprise to me is I have opened a market, or rather I've opened a question on Metaculus on whether automation will see over 90% of the vehicles on the Las Vegas Convention Center loop going autonomous before 2023. So that means either this year, 2021, or 2022. And Elon, of course, has been talking like, autonomy is right around the corner for a long time now. And he continues to do so. Now, there have been beta tests of the current version of autonomy, and they are saying that it is a significant advance. But a real fundamental question is, will they actually roll this out for public display in the Las Vegas Convention Center loop? Now, I think this is important simply because this will be introducing more people to Tesla vehicles than anything else right now. And if they can show autonomy in that context, that's a huge advance, and that's going to be it's going to be very public. This is not going to be something a little bit cheesy, which is kind of how I see the Waymo, what I've seen from Waymo. This is going to be something upscale and glitzy with all the pizzazz that we associate with Las Vegas. Okay. And the question is, are they going to, when are they going to do the Las Vegas Convention Center loop with autonomy? And we're just going to have to wait and see. Right now, the thing that's surprising to me, the predictors at Metaculus are saying the odds of that happening before 2023 are only around 15%, which was kind of surprising to me. I personally put the odds at 70%. But this has a huge advantage over Phoenix in that this is a 100% controlled environment. They're not having to deal with cars from other vendors. They're not having to deal with human drivers. Every car on there is going to be Tesla owned and managed in partnership with the Boring Company. So this is a little different approach to this problem than what we've seen before. And we'll just have to see how it pans out. Now, again, as I've reported before, there are two questions on Metaculus with dates. Level 5 autonomy, projected date of introduction or certification by the SAE is April 13th, 2029. For level 4 autonomy, which means that you will not necessarily run reliably in all edge cases, is January 29th, 2024. So level 4 is coming fairly rapidly, not quite as fast. The recent news has extended the date out a bit. So that's just where that is, right? But these are independent indicators. This is not Elon Musk talking about his schedule that could slip. This is people that are trying hard to be accurate predictors, giving their estimates, their independent estimates of when this is going to happen. And the only money involved is any prize money that's associated with this, which right now I don't even know of any there. Now, one important question is, will Tesla, right now Tesla is introducing a generalized solution. They use cameras, they do not use LiDAR, they do not do a detailed map to prepare this for going into an individual city. I don't know why they don't maybe do that detailed mapping, even with the extra cost in high density locations. I've never had that fully explained to me. Okay. Now, I am planning some additional questions in this area that I'll be posting on Metaculus in the coming weeks. One will be the exact date that the Las Vegas Convention Center loop goes autonomous. Two, the gap between LVCC autonomy and L4 autonomy, which I still think that LVCC autonomy will come before the SAE L4 certification of a commercial vehicle. And then the gap between L4 and L5. So those will be right now it's 63 months. But once we have that, we'll know that if L4 comes out a little earlier or later than we expect, we'll have an independent estimate of what the gap will be, which I think might be useful. And then another question I've already drafted is whether the Las Vegas Convention Center loop will run continuously for 3 years after its introduction. And that's already been drafted. Now, another one I think that may be important is, will we see insurance companies offering discounts or incentives for certain classes of users to have autonomy in place in the vehicle they drive? One population there that is important is seniors who pay enormously high rates. And I can see that being extended to other classes of users, people that maybe have had a series of accidents. That is another category, I think, where that may be appropriate and could fly. But we'll have to just kind of wait and see on that. Now, why is this all important? Why are we talking about this? Lowering of automotive costs lowers transactions costs throughout the U.S. economy, and it's very important in the U.S. economy. The U.S. has a notably higher share of its GDP devoted to transportation, and it's a high transportation cost economy. So anything that lowers that is going to have huge impact throughout the economy. And autonomy is one important dimension of that for things like delivery vehicles. As autonomy comes into place, it's going to open real estate for development and extend the range of viable suburban development beyond what it is now. And I think that's economically important, particularly for those of us interested in real estate investment. And another dimension, which has been, I think, underappreciated, is we have a baby boom that is aging. The people born in 1945 are now in their 70s. And the peak of the baby boom was 1955. Right now, those people are 65 years old. But what autonomy means is that a lot of those people are going to be able to extend independent living for 3 to 5 years. And that lowers their overall living costs, because in the US, going to assisted living can be horribly expensive. And autonomy is a way of addressing, automotive autonomy is a way of addressing that indirectly. Anybody who's had an elder parent knows the headaches associated with the difficulty of explaining to them that they maybe shouldn't be driving on their own. And autonomy is one of the most promising ways of dealing with that question in the immediate future. And I think it's going to be economically important. This is As the World Burns, Randall Burns signing off. See you tomorrow. You take care. Bye.